To Reverend Dr. Kathy C. Jones, pastor, Reverend Dr. Clifton E. Harris, Jr., presiding elder, Bishop James B. Walker, presiding prelate, to the officers, members, guests, and friends of Parkwood Institutional Christian Methodist Episcopal Church, good morning. My name is Daryle McNair. I am the only begotten son of Charlie and Ethel McNair. I say that because my parents have gone on, but I still honor them. And I let everybody know who I am, and it's because of them. This is an awesome opportunity. I've been so excited about it all this week. I must say your pastor is very excited. She has a lot of enthusiasm. She's very personable. So I can see that permeating through the church as I walked in, how I was greeted. People spoke with me, not spoke to me, spoke with me, and made me feel at home. So I was very excited, and again, I'm very excited to be here. This morning is a very special morning. This is the day to honor Children's Day and graduate recognition. To the graduates, this is your day. This is your day. You have worked hard, you have studied hard, you have prayed hard, and this is the culmination of all that you have put into it. This is your day. I want you to feel special this day. You deserve to be special. You worked hard. I want you to stand tall. I want you to walk tall. Be proud. Sit back, put your shoulders back, put your head high. And for this day, I want you to feel like you are the best thing in the world. Celebrate it. I was happy that the pastor asked the young folks to come up as well, because some of my message is going to be not only to the graduates, but to the young folks as well. Coming from a Baptist background, being in church every Sunday, my father was a deacon, there's certain things about protocol that you learn. And so one of the first things about protocol is to give you a text this morning, a topic. And my topic is the debt that you owe. There's a debt that you owe. There's a bill that has to be paid. There's an outstanding invoice that needs your attention. So we're going to talk about that this morning. Then also when you have protocol, you have to bring a scripture. I have two scriptures for you today. The first one is Proverbs 1:8-9. Hear, my son, your father's instruction, and forsake not your mother's teachings, for they are a graceful garland for your head and pendants for your neck. Jeremiah 1, first chapter, first verse says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. And before you were born, I consecrated you. I appointed you a prophet to the nations. To our graduates and our youth, I want to start by talking with Jeremiah. God already knew what he has planned for you. It's often said that the steps of a good man are ordered. See, your steps are already ordered. The thing is, you have to walk them. You are great. I want you to understand that you are great. Understand who you are. I want you to understand and be proud about who you are. I had some situations at work. I work with Wells Fargo. Now, I sometimes get in trouble because I tell the truth, Pat. Go ahead. Okay. You know, sometimes I've been in meetings where everybody don't look like me. Everybody don't share my experiences. So I think I shared a little bit about this before, but they were discussing this movie, The Help. A lot of times when they have those discussions, I just try to mind my business, stay in my lane. But you know, sometimes the devil will come over there and sit beside you. They keep picking at you and start talking all about the movie and whatnot. I didn't say anything. So then when they came to me, they said, well, Daryle, what do you think about that movie? And I turned around and I looked. And me being who I am sometimes, when you open that door, I'm going to kick it in. You open it. I said, I was minding my business. But I told him, I said, you know, that movie that y'all thought was so great, I said, that was my grandmama. See, my grandmama would scrub those floors, work to those houses, wash those clothes, iron those things. But my grandmother did that so that my mother could go to nursing school. So she wouldn't have to do those things. And my mother worked hard for my sister. My mother became an LPN. My sister became an RN. You know, I want you to hold on to that for a minute. You know, and then they sat upon talking. And they talked about growing up. And I talked about my upbringing. And I told them, I said, you know, I didn't have hopes when I was raised. My parents didn't have hopes for me. Everybody started looking sad. They started looking down. I said, they didn't hope I went to college. They didn't hope I finished high school. They didn't hope I did anything. My parents expected for me to do it. They expected for me to go to finish high school. They expected for me to go to college and graduate. You know, these are things that were expected. A lot of times we talk about the choices that you have. I ain't have no choices. Sunday, the choice was you going to church. But the choice is how you gonna go. Either you're gonna go smile and be happy, or you're gonna have a frown on your face for, you know, you got your behind, but you're going. I try to be a little smart, and I try to leave my you know, we called them Sunday shoes back then, leave them at my grandma's house. And my mama broke me that first time. My mama bring me with that three-piece suit with them croquets on. And I got laughed at the whole service, so I never did that again. You know, but when I want to come back to is something else my father told me. And you'll hear me talk about my parents because they poured so much into me that it exudes out. You know, they told me, my dad, I was like, you're my hero. I looked up to my father. I thought he was the greatest thing in the world. But my dad said, son, he said, you have to be better than me. He said, because if you're not better than me, there's no progression. That means one generation did not succeed the other. So when you look at your parents, as great as they are to you, as great as they should be to you, you have to pass them. You have to succeed them. And believe me, they want that. Some of us come from homes where parents may not be mother and father. It may be mother, it may be father, it may be father, it may be mother. But the Bible says to honor your parents. Honor thy mother and father. It said honor them. It didn't ask you to judge them. That's right. It didn't ask you to judge them. What happens, that's none of your business. You're a child. But you should honor them. So I want you to keep that in mind when you think about what you're doing. Be great. Be great. I presented my bio, and I put a lot of things on there, and I purposely did it. Pastor Jones, she didn't go over everything, but it wasn't to do that to brag, but it was to do that to show you that to be successful in life, you have to be involved. You have to be, when you're playing sports, the only way you're going to be a star is to get in the game. That's right. You never seen a star sitting on the bench. You know, my daddy used to say, son, he said, if you're going to walk on water, you got to get out the boat. You know, and when you walk on that water, you got to have faith. You got to believe. You know, because some people walk on water, they couldn't swim. Scared of water, but they had to walk. I listened to a young man, he's here when I was here earlier today. He had this air conditioning business, member of your church. I think I saw him doing an offering. But I listened to his story. And he talked about when he was married and he quit his job. And he started his business, and now it's become very successful. But see, he did something he didn't know what he was going to do. He didn't know how it was going to work, but he believed that it was going to work. So young folks, you have to believe that things can work for you. You have to dream big. My dad would say, have dreams. Because you can't go nowhere without dreams. I don't care what it is, dream. Biggest thing you can, dream. When you sit down in the house, sit there and dream about some things. But then once you sit down and finish dreaming, you got to wake up. You got to put your plan together. You got to have an action plan. People don't fail to plan, they fail to plan. Put your steps together. You have to do that. Now, as great as you are, I want you to look at one other thing. Everybody that's over 35, ask if you please stand. Young folks, I want you to look around. I want you to look at everybody that's around you. And it's ironic that how they are seated, they are around you. They are forming a circle around you. It's a bond around you. You all can sit down now. But the reason why I want you to see them is because these are the people that prayed for you. These are the people that worked hard for you. These are the people that sacrificed for you. These are the people that cried for you. These are the people that worried about you. You know, everything you do, these are the people that help to mold you, to shape you. On paper, if you ask me what my height is, I'm 6 feet 1 inch tall. But if you look at me by the shoulders that I stand on, I'm 100 feet tall. See, you don't get here by yourself. You don't get anywhere by yourself. You have to have God with you, and you have to bring all the wisdom and the knowledge and the encouragement and the prayers that all these folks have given you. You have to bring them with you. You have to carry them with you. When you're successful, they are successful. When you're successful, they are successful. You know, this gets on to the debt you owe, the bill that's due, the outstanding invoice. Because these folks have sacrificed for you, because they prayed for you, they worked hard for you, they took a suit back to get you some shoes to look good. You know, they ate a sandwich while you ate a whole plate. You know, because of these things they did, there's a song I think with Shirley Caesar, they talk about it every Mother's Day, and they say, no charge. But you know, that ain't the truth, because it is a charge. They sacrificed and they did all this for you. Like she said, carried you for 9 months. Now, they didn't do all this stuff for nothing now. So what is your bill? I know when I said it, everybody got quiet. Wait a minute now, I done messed up Shirley. Shirley Caesar. But let me tell you something. Your bill, your invoice is very simple. It's very simple. They want you to be somebody. They want you to do something in life. They want you to be special. You know, when they talk about when you were formed in your mother's womb, everybody talked about you before you even got here. That's my baby. He's gonna be the president. That's what they say. Whatever. They don't talk about the governor. They don't talk about the mayor. They say the president, because they want the best thing for their child. They want the best thing for you. They worked hard for you. They want you to go out there and represent them. Whenever I go to church, my mother-in-law, they'll have dress down day or things of that nature. I have on a suit. My wife will come in there, she try to be slick. She'll put a little matching polo that the church gonna wear their colors. So what I do, I go buy a dress shirt that color. But I got on a suit. Because my grandma, when I turned 16, said, boy, don't come in no church without no coat and tie on. You know, when I step out, I shared the Zoom link. So somebody gonna see me. But they'll never say that Charlie and Ethel's son when they talk about Charlie and Ethel's son, that boy sharp. You know, my mother-in-law, I don't care where she go, nobody gonna be able to tell her that her son-in-law look crazy. They'll never tell her that I act crazy. See, this is what you owe your parents. When they look in the paper, they want to see you in the sports page, the do good section. They don't want to see you in the crime section. You don't understand when you leave the house every night and every day how much your parents worry about you. You know, it's a tough world out here now. And you feel like you're grown. You know, you an adult. See, I didn't become grown till my daddy died. Because I was grown. But see, I didn't have nobody to go when he died. I'm on my own now. I can't say with daddy what you think about that. Mama, what you think about that? You don't have that no more. And one day, I'm going to tell you, it's a tough thing. I have my friend with me. He's my vice president, Stephen Cathcart. He's in the back. We were with him and been with him for the last couple of weeks. You know, he just lost his mother. And one of the things he said is that the thing that he missed the most was the thing that got on his nerve the most. But you're going to miss that. So while you have them here, you need to do all you can to make them happy. Because this is what they sacrifice for. That's why the church full. If you want, my daddy used to be president of the PTA. But what he always did, he always scheduled a meeting around the church plate, the school plate. You did that because everybody coming to see Junior do his part. When I was growing up, Easter was probably the biggest day in the church. Christmas too, because you had a little Easter speech. Everybody wanted to come see their baby do their Easter speech. And he's 2 years old, and all he got up there and said is, Jesus wept. Man, you'd think people start clapping like he's supposed to like he just won a Grammy or something. But the point is, young folks, your parents sacrifice so much. They do so much. They pour so much into you. They want to see you succeed. They don't want your money. They don't want anything. They want to be able to sit back and say, that's my baby. I'm proud of him. Think about the way you look, how you dress, the way you talk. I believe in the power of a minute. And when I say a power of a minute, because you only have 1 minute to impress somebody. You never know when an opportunity may come your way. And what's going to make you stand out? Now, it could make you stand out one or two ways. That young fella's sharp. That young lady's sharp. But man, that little joker look crazy. I ain't fooling with him. So I'm going to be honest with you. It's some of us sometimes, we hate to say it, but we get nervous when we see some of our young folks. They make us nervous. You looking crazy. You're talking loud. You get out the car, you got the music playing. Now this baffles me. The music playing and you just gonna strut on in the stove with the music playing and the car running. Somebody gotta do is get in the car and ride on off. And I'm gonna say this too. Some folks, I know your business. Because what you're doing in the car, as soon as you open the door, it all permeates in the air. Then you wonder why people look at you funny, treat you funny, why they looking at you when you walk down the aisle. You know, we have to tell the truth now. Have to tell the truth. But young folks, they just want to be proud of you. And all you have to do is do what you have to do. Do what you're supposed to do. I say if it don't make my mama smile, my daddy proud, I don't do it. Keep that. Keep that. Before I move on, I wanted to say something. I got kind of excited, but I like to educate. So I'm going to ask you a question. We're seeing the folks come in and parents. We look forward to this year because we see our little junior with his cap and gown on. You ever thought about why you wear that cap? Anybody know why you wear that cap? What that cap is for? See, I'm mindful about doing things without knowing why I'm doing it. So just to give you a little insight, see that cap, it's called a mortar board. For those that know about laying bricks, the thing where you put that mortar on, you slice it up and do that. See, a cap is called a mortar board. It's taken from what's called a berretta, which is an Italian cap worn by the Roman Catholic clergy. The square is represented, it represents a book for your scholarly attainments. It also represents the quad at England at Oxford University, which influenced the dress of graduates, but it also shows the relationship between education and church. Shows your relationship between, if you look at a lot of your HBCUs, which I'm happy to hear so many of you are attending, most of your HBCUs were founded by churches. The first thing they wanted the slaves to do was to be educated, to learn to read and write. I go back to my parents in this story. You represent what's called the hope of the slave. You know, when they asked me a question about that movement and whatnot, I went on and I told them, I said, I stand here at the personification of a dream. I said, I'm the first person in my family that didn't have to sit in the back of the bus. I'm the first person that didn't have to drink at a white and black water fountain. I'm the first person that didn't have to work in no field. You know, and I'm the first one that my grandfather sacrificed when he fought in World War II to become that college graduate, because I was the first one, and give me the right to say what I want to say. You know, and when I graduated, two things I'll never forget. My grandfather was standing there. Whenever it was something big and important, I looked up. I saw my grandfather standing there with that blue pinstripe suit on. Mr. Nick, we called him, standing proud. And then when I finished, this kind of blew my mind. When I walked over there and I had my diploma, and I gave it to my mama just hugged it. She didn't hug me. She hugged that diploma. But she was so proud because her son, although I was the oldest, I was her baby. And she was so proud that I succeeded. And so when you look at these folks, and you may take it for granted, but they are so proud of you. They are so proud and excited for what you have done, and they are excited for what they want you to continue to do. Now, lastly, I'm gonna leave you with this. When you talk about instructions, going forward, when you do things, you have to invoke the aid of deity, which is mean you have to have the Lord in it. You have to have God with you. So each morning, I want you to think about something. See, in the Bible, there were 7 times you think about when God said, they asked him who he was, and he said, I am. He invoked his power, his strength, and his name. He said, I am. When they also asked him who he was in the Bible, it says, I am the bread of life. He said, I am the light of the world. He said, I am the door of the sheep. I am the good shepherd. I am the resurrection and the life. I am the way, the tent, the truth, and the life. I am divine. See, that was a declaration. He said, I am that. And when God said, I am, there was no questioning it. I am. It was a confirmation, an affirmation, as some would say. The affirmation. You hear when they say the affirmation of your faith. That tells you about your faith because you say, I am. So in the morning when you wake up, I'm going to give you some affirmations. But I want you to use the power of I am. Because when you start with I am, you're invoking God right there. You're taking God with you right there. I want you to say I am, and I want you to stand up and say this with me. Young folks, everybody that's under 35, I want you to say this with me. Those that are over 35, if you want to sit and repeat it, you can as well. But I want you to repeat after me. I want you to say, I am intelligent. I am brilliant. I am articulate. I am confident. I am strong. I am determined. I am somebody. I am a child of God. You can sit down now. So I'm going to close this thing because I know when we're talking to young folks, you don't want to hold them long because the attention span is not long. And I always know, again, coming up as a young Baptist, going up in the Baptist church, they say, you know, say what you say and sit down. You don't have to reel me in. I ain't no fish. I ain't going out there, Pastor. But I want you to think about from this day forward, when you stand up in the mirror, I want you to look good at yourself. I want you to feel good about yourself. I want you to look good. Look like somebody. Act like somebody. Be somebody. Make your mother and father proud. When you walk into a room, stand up tall. Walk tall. Stand tall. Speak to people. Look them in their eye. Shake their hand. Walk up to them. Sit in the front row. Exude confidence. I want you to exude confidence because you are somebody. Carry yourself as you somebody. When you walk in that room, hey, I'm in the room. When you look like somebody, you can walk in the room, don't have to say a word. People gonna start looking. Who is that? Look good, look sharp. You know, your parents tell you things. One thing my mom used to tell me when I had, doing different hairstyles, I always say, son, waves ain't never been out of style. Wave, wave, she said, you don't have to do all that, but you have to make an impression when you come in there. Everybody's trying to get something that you want. It's 10 of y'all that walk in the door. How you gonna stand out? What's gonna make you stand out? And I'm gonna tell you something else. We've heard young folks from kindergarten to the young lady got a master's degree. But I'm gonna tell you one thing that'll take you farther than any of that. Yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am will take you places where your education can't go. And the first thing they're gonna say when I talk about honoring your parents, when you go in there, how you doing? Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. You know the first thing they're gonna say? That boy been raised right. See, when you do that, it ain't about you. Sometimes we get caught up, I ain't got to say yes, ma'am. I ain't got, no. Because when you say yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am, yes, sir, and no, sir, you are honoring your parents again. See, this is the debt that you owe. This is your invoice that's outstanding. You got to pay it. You got to pay it. If you don't pay it, as the Bible says, think about your days. Your days can get cut short. Days can get cut short. So young folks, I'm not going to hold you long. I just want you to understand that this is your day. I want you to always understand that you are somebody, no matter how tough it is, no matter where you are in the world. You see all these folks that stood around you? You can be here from Huntsville, Alabama. Anywhere in the world, somebody is praying for you. Somebody wants to see you do good. And somebody loves you. When you get down, somebody loves you. I've listened to this lady. I feel very confident in saying that wherever you are, you can make a collect call to your pastor, and she will encourage you. I've only met her this morning, but I can tell from her spirit. I can tell from the spirit of these folks in this church. So again, young folks, I just remind you that you are somebody. You are a child of God. To the 2024 class of graduates, I say you are blessed. And now go forth and be great. Thank you.